Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another movie review, and this time I'm taking a look at another DC animated movie for this year. There's been, what, like 45 of them released so far? I feel like every 5 to 6 hours there's at least like 3 more that come out on digital or in stores or whatever. I go into my Best Buy and there might as well be a section right to the left of the entrance that says, here's all the new DC animated movies that came out today. And I could go in there the following day. I'm sure it would be all different movies. They released a lot. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a lot of them. But this one I was actually really excited for. So I was actually really excited for because most of the time DC animations are really good. They actually are, with the occasional flop here and there. I think like most of the ones they've done recently have been hit or miss. And when they hit in a all right, that was satisfying way. And when they miss, they really miss. Like Killing Joke, which I actually didn't hate, but a lot of people did, and Batman and Harley Quinn, which I could not stand. But sometimes they release a great one, and one of my favorite ones is Batman Assault on Arkham. Look at that. I even have the collector's edition of this, it's back there. I have the Blu-ray. This is the regular Blu-ray, and it's not even a collector's edition. It comes with like a little figurine of Harley Quinn. Point is that I was actually really excited for this because it had the Suicide Squad in it. It was a movie that was, Batman in title, but Suicide Squad in actual film. Does that make sense? Whatever. So when I heard they were going to make a semi follow-up sequel, not really a sequel, I'll get to that in a minute, but kind of a follow-up, I was excited. So it came out, and it's called Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. They completely got rid of that Batman name. Suicide Squad is popular now, so they're saying, screw it, just call it Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad did better than friggin' Justice League, so obviously, I mean, people like that more, at least in America. I don't know. Do they? Do you guys like Suicide Squad more than Justice League? You tell me in there, bottom part. Where you tell me how fat I am and I'm a loser and I live with my mom and stuff. That part over there, just tell me what you thought of it. And then leave the comment about how I'm fat and I live with my mom. You could do that after. Or, do it before. Just answer me. Do you like Suicide Squad more than Justice League? Do you like either of them? That's a good question, actually. But anyway, I was looking forward to this. I really was. And I watched it a few days ago, so it's been actually a little while since I watched it. And I'm going to tell you right here, this movie, while not great, definitely wasn't. When it comes to DC animated movies of recent times, it is definitely one of the better ones because a lot of them have been kind of either hit in the sense that it succeeds at being a fun movie but not as a great film, or it missed as in it just completely failed. So examples like Justice League Dark was a hit, but it wasn't great. It was a semi-hit, I should say. Same thing for that Teen Titans movie that came out recently, the Judas Contract, I think it was called. Whatever. Yeah, it was a hit. It was a little misogynistic. That's for sure. But there was some fun moments. It was okay. Killing Joke would be a miss. I would say Harley Quinn and Batman, or whatever the hell it's called, Batman and Harley Quinn. I would say that's a huge miss. That's probably one of the weakest ones, in my opinion. I couldn't stand that movie, and I knew they were trying to do some Batman animated series tributing. It just didn't work. It really didn't. I wish it did because I loved the Batman animated series, but it just did not work. But this one actually ends up being one of the better ones of recent times. It is not as good as Assault on Arkham, sadly. I was hoping it would be either just as good or even better, but this sadly is still, not sadly, it's a great film, but this is still probably my favorite DC animated movie to date. It's been like 5 years since it came out, but it's still the best one in my opinion. And hopefully we get a legit sequel to this one where it actually follows the Assault on Arkham versions of the Suicide Squad characters, because this one was really awesome. One thing I have to say about this one, though, when it comes to the R rating, because we had the Gotham by Gaslight movie that came out recently, which to be fair I haven't seen yet, but I heard it was okay, not great. Killing Joke was rated R. Wasn't the last Teen Titans one rated R? I could be wrong. No, I don't think it was, actually. Justice League Dark was. Compared to those, this one is far and beyond a rated R superhero film. It is ridiculous how violent this movie is at times. The first 10 minutes of this fucking movie has a really awesome little action scene where it's Deadshot and a couple of the other kind of lesser members of I guess the Suicide Squad They don't really describe. I think it was supposed to be Suicide Squad at the beginning. But anyway, he leads this team of a couple of these like kind of lame ass characters on a train, and they go on this train, and they're just like murdering dudes. I mean, like straight up, like cutting people in half, shooting them in the head. People's heads explode. It's extremely violent. And one thing I didn't like about Justice League Dark, at least, again, I haven't watched Gotham by Gaslight. It might be extremely violent, but like really violent. I'm not sure. So take that for what it is. But that was the thing about Dark, and even Killing Joke. Like there was violence, but it wasn't really violent. And when you advertise, oh, this movie's gonna be rated R, I want to see some violence, or at least some stuff that would suggest a rated R. And really, Dark didn't have that. It could have been PG-13, to be honest. There was only like one scene in the beginning where pedestrians were hitting other pedestrians with cars, but it wasn't even that violent. You just see like little blood spurts. It could have easily been a PG-13 cartoon. Same thing for Killing Joke. I mean, I know Killing Joke has that whole implied thing towards the end of the book, or actually towards the beginning of the book, but towards the end of the movie with Batgirl, and also the Batgirl sex. That was fucking stupid. But all that stuff could have been in a PG-13. I feel, you know, it's no worse than the Judas Contract, where I don't want to spoil it, but there's some stuff in Judas Contract that I would say is even worse than The Killing Joke. The movie, not the book. I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about the movie. But anyway, this movie starts off fucking graphic. Like, they are really murdering dudes. And there's people that we get to know in the first 10 minutes that are like, okay, these guys are going to be kind of like main characters, right? And then not only do they die, they get their heads blown off, they get shot up, they get just straight up murked. It's great. The first 10 minutes I actually loved. Then it starts slowing down and gets into the plot all about this Amanda Waller, who is skinny now and voiced by Vanessa Williams this time, wants this card. And this card is I'm not even fucking around, it is a get out of hell free card. I'm not kidding. I mean, it's a good idea for something like this, for something silly like the Suicide Squad. And I'm glad that they didn't put the Suicide Squad up against a giant evil force that's like, you know, Superman style bad guy, because in the movie, of course, Suicide Squad, the live action one, which I'm surprised I haven't talked about until right now. I'm actually proud of myself there. But actually, I did mention it earlier. What am I talking about? Well, I only asked if you like Suicide Squad more. I didn't really compare it yet. But that was my problem with that movie, is because like the first half is like, okay, they're doing a little mission. I get that. They're just going to get Amanda Waller. And then the last half is like, oh, now they have to fight Enchantress and this giant Gods of Egypt looking motherfucker. Like, okay. What is Harley Quinn gonna do? What is Boomerang gonna do? Like, I don't know. That's the part that really lost me with Suicide Squad. Like, how is this gonna make any sense? But they don't really do that. Like, they have the get out of hell free card, but everybody else is like kind of like legit like threats compared to the Suicide Squad. Not like overly like will immediately murder the Suicide Squad. Like, they're threats, that's for sure, but they're not giant hulking beasts or whatever, you know what I mean? So it made sense in that aspect. But after the first 10 minutes, it starts to get a little slow. Deadshot's voiced by Christian Slater this time, which I thought he was okay, but the thing is that I really liked Neil McDonough in Assault on Arkham. I thought he did a good job as Deadshot. I thought he did a perfect job of encapsulating how he is an assassin that is fed up with being an assassin. He doesn't want to be an assassin. He wants to be a father. And they put that father thing in here, that he wants to go and see his daughter, of course. And his daughter kind of doesn't really like him because he's an assassin. And they put that in there, of course, if you want to see that again. You saw it in the live action movie, and you saw it in Assault on Arkham, kind of, a little bit. But only a little bit, Assault on Arkham. But you get that in here. And I thought the movie dragged whenever it was just like them assembling the team and them like chasing down suspects and stuff. There was one suspect I actually really enjoyed, which he was a very silly character. They had to go chase down one guy, not suspects, you know, people that, yeah, I guess it's suspects. But anyway, they had to go catch this guy named, what was it? Steel Maxim, that's his name. And I thought he was kind of fun because he's this character that you find out. Again, this is going to be a spoiler talk, by the way. I liked the movie. I didn't love it, just in case you don't want to get spoiled. So you might want to go away at this point. I did like it. Go watch it if you don't want to get spoiled. I like that you find out that he's actually, what's his name? Dr. Fate? Or Fate? Is it Dr. Fate? You find out that he's a superhero, or he used to be a superhero, and then he's like washed up has-been superhero. Like, he uses a superhero identity as like he's a playboy now and stuff, and then he loses that superhero identity. at one point, and now he's like a washed up stripper and stuff. I thought that was really funny and actually worked well with the R rating because, hey, if you want to see a dude wave his nuts around, I mean, he's not nude, but if you want to see a dude with a G-string on wave his nuts around an animated DC movie, then you're going to get that in this one. But I thought he was actually really funny. I actually liked his character. He was sleazy. He was definitely a perfect character for the Suicide Squad to meet up with. That's actually another thing I want to talk about. The Suicide Squad in this movie is definitely not like that live action thing. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep comparing it, but in the Suicide Squad live action movie, you never get a sense that they're actually villains. Like, you just feel like they're kind of weird and quirky at times, and I don't know, whenever they kill someone, it's usually just like one of those like zombie dudes that are like possessed people, but they're already dead, so it doesn't matter, I guess. So you never get a sense that they're villains. Here, there's times where like Harley Quinn, everybody loves Harley Quinn. She comes in, she cracks jokes, whatever. She's kind of annoying in this movie, I'm not gonna lie. More so than usual. Like, she's annoying, but not in a charming way like usual. She's not as charming as she is in this, is what I'm trying to say. But, again, I don't want to keep comparing it to everything, but whatever. There's one part where they freeze a security guard who's just a security guard. He's just working, you know, he's being a security guard for, I mean, I'll bet an evil dude, but he's just a security guard. Killer Frost freezes him, which at that point, I'm sure he's pretty much dead at that point, right? And then, you know, they could have easily just freezed him and walked away. Harley Quinn takes out her bat and just fucking knocks his head off, and he's donezo. If he wasn't dead before, he's dead now. So there's just like shit they do that is villainous, and you can't. It doesn't. Well, there's times where you forget that they're villains, and then they remind you, and I did like that. Even though I wish there was still a little bit more of that, because there's times here and there where they try to make them good guys, especially Deadshot towards the end of the movie. And there was actually one other character, Bronze Tiger, in this movie, who I thought was an okay character. That is that kind of character where he's like, you know, I'm only working with you guys because I have to. I did some bad things in the past, but he's kind of like the who's the Inferno guy, and actually no, he's not like that. I was about to say, because that guy was awful. And then he became okay. Never mind. But he has a similar character arc, like as I forgot his name. El Diablo. That's his name, right? Diablo. In Suicide Squad, the live action movie. So he has a kind of similar arc to that, except he was awful in the beginning, and Bronze Tiger isn't, and he became awful or something like that. Whatever. I'm not exactly too sure about his character because they don't really spend too much time with the characters, which was one of my main criticisms. I'll get to that in a second. But he had a character arc that was similar, and he was an okay character. And there was a couple moments here and there where him and Deadshot kind of fought because Deadshot's the leader, and Bronze Tiger doesn't really agree with the certain things that Deadshot wants to do. And there's even a time where like Bronze Tiger becomes the leader and Deadshot has to follow him and stuff. So there's some stuff here and there that it works as like a team movie, I guess, because you want to see that part where the team kind of starts fighting each other, and there's a little bit of that, but not enough, I don't think. That's what also was missing in that live action Suicide Squad movie, by the way, where you don't really get a sense of like them being villains and not liking each other. There's only one part where you kind of get that, and that's with Boomerang and what's the dude that gets his head blown off? The guy that could climb the wall. The guy that could climb the walls, he's like, I'm gonna climb those walls. Look at me, I'm climbing the wall with that guy. That's the only time you ever get the sense that like they don't want to be a team. Every other time it's just like, you know, they say like, I'm not your friends, but then they fight well together, and I don't know, them just saying like, I don't like you, without actually conveying them not actually liking them. I don't know. It's just, that was the main problem with that movie, is that I never believed any of the characters or anything. That's a big problem with that. And it's a big problem with this one too. But this one is shorter. It has more action. That's, you know, you could tell what the hell's going on. There's a lot of blood. And there's actually a couple of little funny moments here and there. I also really like the idea that in the beginning of this movie, when they're assembling the Suicide Squad to go get this card for Amanda Waller, they have to use an RV because it's supposed to be like an off-the-books thing. Like, you know, Suicide Squad at this point is like a thing where they actually get ready and it's like actual missions and stuff. But here it's supposed to be off the books because it's just for Amanda Waller, and she doesn't want anybody knowing that she wants to get this card. So she does it off the books, and she just gives them like some shitty rundown RVs. So there's like large sections of just like Boomerang or Harley Quinn or Killer Frost or Copperhead just chilling in an RV, like kind of like talking to one another, just like staring at one another, and just like in an RV. There's a part where Copperhead, who's this like snake dude, has to drive the RV, and he sees like a car whizzing by, and a kid's like making faces at him, so he just like opens his giant like his giant snake mouth and like hisses at him. There's a couple of funny little moments there. I actually thought were kind of cute, which is weird considering in the first 10 minutes dudes were getting heads blown off and everything. People were getting fucked up. I'm not even kidding. There was really a moment where someone gets sliced like from all the way to this part of their neck all the way to like right here, right below the titty, like, and it's just like body fell apart. I don't know. I enjoyed the movie. I do have problems. Like I said, the characters, you don't really get too much of a sense of who they are. And it's really a shame that they didn't just make this a follow-up to Assault on Arkham. I guess maybe it's, I don't know, too long of a wait, I guess. Like, it's been 5 years since this came out, or like, what, 4 years maybe? No, I think it was 5 years. Let me see. It's been too long, either way. Maybe that's why. Damn, this movie's only 75 minutes long. This one actually ended up being like 85 minutes long. So that's also another thing. This one's a little longer than most animated DC movies. Most of them are around 70, 75 minutes long. This one's like around 80, 85, I think. So if you don't like longer ones, then maybe you'll find this a little bit more boring than other ones. But it's just a shame they didn't follow it up, because I would love to see the versions of like Boomerang and Deadshot and Amanda Waller and even Killer Frost, even though it's assumed that something like, I don't want to spoil this movie, but whatever, they can make it work. And just add the couple of new ones like Copperhead and Bronze Tiger, and who was the other one? Did I mention someone else? I think that was it, right? Yeah, I don't know. They could have easily did that. They could have did that. No, they could have did that, but they didn't. So these are different versions of these characters. They don't reference anything that happened in the past, so obviously it's a different universe or whatever. I don't know. I wish it was a follow-up. I wish they mentioned things that happened in this. You know, they could easily did that. Easily could have. I would have been okay with that. Like, oh, remember that mission where we had to go to Arkham and then Batman showed up and we had to, like, I don't know, he disguised himself as one of us and stuff. Like, they could have easily done that. I don't know. Especially since the tone of this movie was really dark. It was a PG-13, but it was really close to being rated R. People's heads get blown off in this. And characters we like get murdered in horrible ways. So, you know what? I don't know. And this did a good job of making it seem like they were actually villains, too. So, I don't know. I know I keep showing this. I just want to talk about this. I love this one. I really do. It's like a movie you could watch any day. You know? It's short, sweet, gets to the point. You like the characters and they're villains sort of way, and also it's a short movie, so you can forgive the movie for not having a ton of character development. It has enough where you can like the characters or are interested by the characters, which this movie doesn't really have. It doesn't have enough for me to like the characters, I guess. But anyway, it's still a fun movie. Like, again, it's very violent. It has a lot of really good action scenes. Also, I should mention, this is a spoiler review. I might as well talk about it. This movie ties into another DC animated movie, which is probably my second favorite animated film. And if you don't want spoilers, please go away. But I'm going to tell you right here, it actually ties it in. And it's kind of like a twist in some way. And I actually really like that because it made us feel like it's important in the DC animated universe, which I thought was cool because I thought this should be like a throwaway movie, like, it's a Suicide Squad, let's have some fun. But they actually tie it in very well to one of the biggest ones. Again, if you want spoilers, go away. I really enjoyed it. If I had to give it a score on my stupid scale from 0 to 40, I'd probably give it a 27 out of 40. I did really enjoy it. You know, that's still like almost a 7 right there. So, you know, go check it out. It's still fun. But actually, I think that's like right at a 7. But whatever. So anyway, spoilers. So spoilers from here on out. I mean, I'm already spoiling little things here, but these are major spoilers. All right. So there's one part where you find out that the villain in this movie is like a guy named Vandal Savage, who's like an immortal dude, and you're thinking, oh, he's going to be the main villain. Not really. You don't really get too much of him. You get a little bit, and he's just standing there looking evil. You don't really get too much of him, and he gets killed off pretty quickly after he gets like a big scene where he fights the Suicide Squad. Then you find out really who's the main villain, who's actually been in the movie the entire time, but you thought he'd be kind of like a side villain, is Reverse Flash, or what's his name? They don't call him Reverse Flash, right? They also call him Zoom. So you find out Zoom, who is a really cool character. I actually really like Zoom. Is the main villain, and it ties it into the Flashpoint paradox, which I loved that DC animated movie with Flash, of course. And I thought when they showed him at first, I was like, okay, they're not really going to tie it in with Flashpoint paradox. I figured they wouldn't. So I was just like, okay, this is just this universe's Zoom, right? Like, it's just Zoom is still alive. They don't want to get rid of that character. So he's here and he wants to get that get out of hell free card for some reason. I was so stupid. I didn't like connect it in some way. I was like, no, it's not going to be the Flashpoint paradox. That would be weird. And it ended up being the same one from Flashpoint Paradox. The one where, like, Batman from that universe shot him in the fucking head. He's got a hole in his head throughout this entire movie. You don't actually see it because he covers it up. But he has a hole in his head, and you're like, when he reveals that, you're like, what the fuck? And he's just like, yeah, I'm speeding up my, like... because he could go really fast, he's like speeding his shit up so he doesn't die. I'm like, how does that work? It's a little silly. You have to kind of just roll with it. But if you can roll with a get out of hell free card, then you can roll with this, I'm assuming. So he wants the card because he knows he's going to hell. So he wants to go up there. And the whole time I was kind of like, all right, he did some shitty things in the past, but he's not being like really super shitty. Not like a typical villain would be. So I kind of liked him as a villain because he was doing things where he's just like, all right, I don't want to kill everybody. I just want to get this card. I just want the card. That's really it. Like, all right, I don't have much power in me. I can run a little fast, but not too much because I have this hole in my head. So I can't go too fast. So I want to keep it cool, keep it calm. I got my henchmen here who are my henchmen for some reason. I don't know why they're working with me, really. Like, they're not getting anything out of it. I guess maybe money. I don't know. But I just want to play it cool and just get the card. And then later on in the movie, he's just like, all right, I'm sick of this shit. He's just like killing a dude. He kills Bronze Tiger at one point. And yeah, no, I really liked that whole twist, I would say. Even though it was obvious, I should have saw it coming. I don't know why. All the clues were there. I should have fucking figured. But I guess I also wasn't really thinking of Flashpoint Paradox at that point because I thought that was its own self-contained thing, kind of. So, you know what? Whatever. That's its own thing. And now we have this and Zoom's back. That's cool. But one thing I really liked is, I don't know why I laughed because this isn't a funny moment. I was like, this guy dies lol. One thing I actually really liked is the whole, the relationship between Bronze Tiger and Deadshot. While not great, I mean, it's not like a really deep relationship. It's very simple. Bronze Tiger doesn't like Deadshot because he's a murderous assassin, and Deadshot doesn't like Bronze Tiger because, you know, he's fucking Deadshot. You don't like anybody, but you don't like shit. So they have that relationship, and at the end, like, Bronze Tiger is all fucked up. He's trying to do this mission to get out of jail, I think, or something like that, or whatever. And he has like kind of a moment with Deadshot where he's just like, yeah, my wife was killed and stuff, yada yada yada. You learn this throughout the movie and stuff. My wife was killed, and they have like a little tender moment. And you know, Deadshot has the card at this point. He killed Zoom, and he's like, you know what? You already know where it's going. But Deadshot just gives him the card and lets Bronze Tiger die, and he goes, whoop. He goes to heaven, and then he just gives the card to Amanda Waller, who is, I think at this point has like a brain tumor or something like that. That's revealed earlier in the movie, so that's why she wants the card. He gives the card to her, she not knowing it's already been used, and he's just like, yeah, go ahead, man, you're good. Just make sure you keep that with you. When you die, you're gonna go to heaven. No, she's going to hell. She don't know though. And that's where the movie ends. Oh, well, actually, the movie ends with him going to see his daughter. So there's some really good moments. I really liked that moment. I really liked all the violent moments. I could have done without all the Harley Quinn stuff. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting sick of Harley Quinn. But, you know, I watched this movie again like last year, and I thought it was great. I still thought it was great. I thought Harley was a great character in it. So, man, I guess you just have to use her appropriately. And every time she showed up in this, she was just, like, cracking jokes, and that's it. Here, not like that. She actually had a purpose with the Joker and stuff. Here, there's no Joker. There's no Batman either, which I really appreciated because this is called Batman, and Batman's in this for like 5 minutes. It's really a Suicide Squad movie. So I was really, I was a little upset that they didn't follow this version of the Suicide Squad. I really wanted to see those, but I'm glad that the Suicide Squad at least had one good movie that had Suicide Squad in the title. You know? This one doesn't have Suicide Squad in the title. That's sad. Oh well. But anyway, it's I want to see on the back if they mention Suicide Squad. Yeah, okay, it does. It does call them Suicide Squad on the back. By the way, that's it. That's all. 27 out of 40. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed that spoiler discussion. That went on way longer than I thought it was going to. 24 minutes. Whew. 25 minutes by the time I'm done. But yeah, no, I had a good time. I hope you had a good time too. Because, yeah, just good time all around. I did enjoy it though. I really did have a good time. So anyway, I will be taking a look at Batman Ninja when that comes out. So if you're wondering if I will be reviewing that, I definitely will be. I might even do a reaction to it because I really love the trailers, and that seems like a movie that definitely needs a reaction. So I might do a reaction for that. If I do, a full reaction will be on BitChute, of course, and maybe I'll do an edited one on YouTube. I'm not sure how that will work, but I'll figure it out, I guess. So anyway, there you go. That is it. Thank you. Until next time, of course, goodbye.